pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, well, when I switched it out of studio mode, it went and did that.
It did it again.
It did that. And then it's going to go back to that.
We're watching the control panel.
And then it's going to come back to this. Because in studio mode, for some reason, it didn't go right back to the... It was just goofy.
Never mind. Forget it. Who cares, right?
Hey, if it was picture perfect, it wouldn't be
It wouldn't
us.
be Big Bear, right?
So what's going on, everybody? Happy weekend.
Happy weekend.
And to all you awesome dads
Where's the
out
remote?
there.
You need to turn the remote on.
You're hot?
Did you turn it? Yes, I'm burning up. Yes, we are spoiled, y'all. How are y'all faring with the no cops in Atlanta these days? It doesn't affect us. That's 2.5 hours from
2.5 hours away.
But I would ask that you keep them in your prayers because we do have some subscribers and close friends who not only live very close to that area, but also work as law enforcement close to that area. So please keep them in your prayers. It is definitely a
unruling situation.
Unruly. It's definitely a situation. So, yeah. So congrats, Lone Star. He said howdy from our farm to y'all's. Awesome.
Now the work begins.
Mm-hmm.
So, before I was rudely interrupted.
Yes, you were rudely interrupted. I apologize.
Somebody is always breaking the rules. Happy Father's Day to all the awesome dads out there. Happy Father's Day.
Hidden Within Myself says, it's my birthday tomorrow. 2020 doesn't exist, so I don't have to add a year to my name or my age, right? Hello, Green Gables. How's everything going?
Can we go with that theory?
I know, right?
Well,
Especially since next month is my birthday, so I'm going to be going to 43. So, yeah, and so I almost did that today, or a couple days ago. I said the work's been going on already. I had somebody I was talking to, I was like, I'm going to be 42 this year. And I was like, oh, no, you're not. You're going to be 43. So, yeah. But
I bet that was an unruly
oh, my gosh.
feeling.
Put that away. You're killing me, Smalls. Okay, so how many people? We'll wait a few minutes before I make an announcement. I was going to make something, but I'm going to
Announcement?
wait a few minutes.
You didn't tell me you were making an announcement.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. Seriously?
Mud Pie Girl, she said Tuesday is her birthday. Well, Hidden Within Myself, happy birthday tomorrow. And Teresa, happy birthday on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Lone Star says happy Father's Day, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You know, that's one thing, like, I'm starting to feel the after effects of not being able to go to some of these conferences.
Uh-huh.
You know, we didn't get a chance to visit with any... Wow.
What is that?
It's a radish.
Oh, bring that here.
We were just rudely interrupted.
Yeah.
Oh.
This
live?
Yes.
This
Yes.
live brought to you by...
Bring
No,
it.
you better give it up.
Give me the... Look at this radish, y'all. Woo. Let's see how it measures up.
Can I leave now?
Yes, leave.
So, where did you find this?
It was in the blue bed
In the blue
in
bed.
the front yard.
With all the French breakfast and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, because I planted different varieties,
it's
not
a-
just French
In the
breakfast.
well, the one that has the pole beans in it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's one of those like purple top loaves.
No, it's a Malaga, I think. Hello, Dawn. Thank you.
I'm gonna leave now.
Okay.
I think that's I'm pretty sure
Get out of the
that's
chickens.
called a Malaga. Hold on, let me check.
I'll go look to see if there's any tags.
She wants to see the tail of the tape.
You're killing me.
I'm gonna get
Killing me. Yes, that's what it is. Those are Malagas.
Oh, thank you, Dawn.
But it's like a purplish. That's pretty. Man, y'all, I don't know that y'all can see this, but like the contrast is like super white. Purple. And then look at how white that is. That's super white. For a radish. Like, that's impressive.
White. Purple.
We've been harvesting some French breakfast, which by far, if I had a favorite radish, that would be it.
Bonjour.
Really? What did they put in your tea?
I don't know.
Yeah, French breakfast is probably my fave.
Your fave. Cheers.
I don't know though. Like that purple is super cool. Ooh, there it is. I bet this one is very tasty roasted. Oh.
So, on the tape of hotness.
She gonna strangle you with that tape measure before.
Where does this radish measure up?
Like out of 10? 10 being the spiciest? I would say it's like an 8.5, 9. That's freaking spicy.
It's not spicy. It's good.
It
want
is
any
good.
more? You want
No,
any
go
more?
ahead. I'm not gonna say that it's bad because it's not. It is definitely a radish. Like when you tasted it, it is most definitely a radish. It's got radish flavor. Very clean flavor. The texture is really good.
Mm-hmm.
No. No. Quit. I need a drink. But that's what I was saying about roasting them. That's what I was saying, Dawn, is that those would be really good roasted. I could see the flavor profile on that being really good with just, I don't know how everybody else does it, but we take them and we put them in a bowl and then we drizzle olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then we just toss like in a big stainless mixing bowl. And we just toss them, kind of get them all covered and everything, and then we just put them in a pan and put them in the oven, and or on the skillet or on a campfire. Any of those ways, they're really good. Now the French breakfast, I have noticed,
by far the campfire measures out to be the best.
The French breakfast is more bang for your buck if your bed has the capability.
Not bang for your buck. More inch to your foot.
If your bed has the capability of growing deep, like if you've got, 6 or 8 inches of soil in your bed, or in your, you've got good topsoil on your, if you're growing in rows or whatever, they do really well in those kind of soil conditions because they grow long, but then they'll also start growing up out of the soil and topping up out of the soil. Mm-hmm. And those to me by far, the other really cool thing about those, because they grow, they're more of a cylinder and they grow straight down. Those, if you don't thin them out, they're still okay because they grow a little out, but then they grow long. And as they start to get bigger, what happens is Jason will pick the biggest one, and then it makes room for because I usually put like 3 seeds in each hole now that I have my spacer. And so I'll put like 3 or 4 seeds in there. So what'll happen is 3 or 4 of them will come up because it's Baker Creek, so we know they're all going to come up. So then they'll all come up. Jason will pull he'll pull the biggest one and then let the other 2 grow. And then by then there's plenty of room because, like with these Malagas, that doesn't happen because they grow out and they get, you saw that one. It was very plump and round. Look at who is in the live show. I love him. What's up, Blaze? Blaze has finished his training and he's set to go on to his next bit. So he has a couple of days to just be him, and then
Yeah, him pushing a lawnmower or
Back
carrying a
on
weed
to-
whacker.
back on to doing.
PFC. Perfect for cleaning.
That's awesome. I never heard that. But anyway, we're glad, Blaze, we're glad for you to be here. And even though most of this stuff he's already heard, because we've been trying to bring him up to speed over the last couple of days. So, but with the radishes, those Malagas, they grow real fat and they're not very deep. But with the French breakfast, they do that. Oh,
Hey, if it's not raining, you're not training, Marine.
there you
That's all
go.
I'm gonna
That's
say.
it. Row 7 seeds. Love them. Try them. What are you doing?
Nothing. None your business.
Anyway. So those French breakfast, I love those because it gives us the opportunity of not having to worry about thinning them the way that you would have to thin the other ones. They tend to grow up out of, they'll grow up out of the ground and give us more of a harvest. So, speaking of harvest, how is everybody's garden doing? I like to hear how everybody in the chat, I'm sure we've got a lot of people here that are growing stuff. So, I'm warm and dry in my squad bay. Absolutely, I bet.
Till some sergeant or corporal gets bored.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Living a rogue life. Hello, hello.
I remember those days.
Yeah?
Not so long ago.
I mean, it was a long
Shut
time
your
ago.
mouth.
I mean, you're Love you, honey. Anyway,
So the tale of the tape this week. What all has gotten done?
Oh my God.
What?
Sorry. So, I'm going to have to fuss at Lauren. She's still outside, obviously. But she just sent me a picture. And she put, we have a teeny tiny runt. And, they took some of we bartered with them and took some of our pigs over to the guinea hogs to them. And they've had a couple, of litters now, 2 litters, I think. And she sent me a picture, so we have a little teeny tiny runt, and it looks like it can't be much bigger than a Coke can. Like super tiny, look.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's a Ladessa pig.
So, see, look at that little bitty pig.
Follow the arrow for those of
Now
you.
that one that's just above it, that's a normal sized piglet. So that'll give you an idea. Let's see what we have here. So, Windswept. Hello, Mr. Windswept. Why did the kid poke the father repeatedly with a measuring tape to measure his patience?
I wonder if that works.
My garden is overheated. I'm getting ready for August replant. We were just talking about that today.
Don't break it.
Mimsy said she's slowly starting to replant. Just replanted calimas right before the stream. I planted calimas 2 or 3 days ago, so they should be popping up yet. Popping up pretty soon. Let's see. Behind it was too cold for zone B, just starting to come up. Well, some of them. Teresa said, not happening. Her garden's not doing well, or maybe she doesn't have one. I don't know. I'm picking lots of peppers down here. Geeky Gardens is in Florida, I think. But I'll tell you, so far, we have harvested quite a few tomatoes, quite a few eggplant.
Some big honking. No, you know what? y'all gonna have to watch the video. Robin is putting a
garden tour
video out. It's coming out Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you're gonna get to see some of the things that we've been harvesting, because some things are out on drying racks, some things are in my belly.
Do I smell some fresh meat in the house?
I smell carousel. Carousel.
Let's see. So yeah, so we've been doing pretty, Central Florida. We've been doing pretty well. We've harvested quite a bit. All of our tomatoes right now, we're gonna core and score, and then put them in the freezer.
You're a poet and didn't know it.
And then wait until I love Mimsy. You've done more for your country just by making your dad so proud. You basically saved the world. Good evening, TJ.
It's not like I'm some type of proud daddy or anything like that. I don't know what
I know,
I'm talking about.
But you know what? As soon as he put that on his phone started acting up. Wouldn't text me anything. Like it was broken. He couldn't text me, couldn't call me, nothing. But thanks, brother. Still feels weird saying that. So yeah. Oh, TJ, congrats on getting your wife back home. He finally got her home from the hospital. So
cool. Way to go, TJ.
So as far as harvesting, we're doing pretty well.
Save it for your video?
I wasn't going to say all the details. But we still have, all I'm saying is I left and everything went to crap. We were talking about that, and he's not talking about on our homestead. He's talking about in the world. We talked to him yesterday because he kind of surprised us yesterday. When he went to his, this past training he's gone to, we basically we didn't know when he'd be done.
No, we got a nice message.
I'm just getting ready to say that. We didn't know the details. Then, right when he pulled up, we get this cryptic text message from a number we didn't recognize, and it was basically a picture of a piece of paper, and it said, this is from your retarded son. He says he loves
your
you.
retarded son told me to send you this, and he loves you.
And he loves you, yeah. And so anyway, it said that he would be going to wherever his next thing was on the 24th. So we didn't know if that meant that he would be finishing his training that day and then shipping out, or if he was going to be finishing a couple of days before and then shipping out. We didn't know.
You didn't.
I didn't know.
You didn't want to listen to me.
Whatever. So yesterday I'm cooking dinner, and all of a sudden my phone starts like buzzing because I was watching some show while I was cooking in the kitchen, and it comes up because he's been doing this like it's like Google Duo or something. So whenever somebody starts to call you, their picture shows, like, you get their live feed of their video before you even accept the phone call. So I'm looking down and I see his face and I'm like, wait, what? So I picked up the phone and we started talking, and he was telling us everything that, he's going through. And he's like, so fill me in, because I haven't been exposed to anything for the last month. And then even at boot camp, they only got what everybody from the outside would tell them. And I don't know if we ever really went into this very much with y'all, but we did not tell Blaze much of anything about the virus, of what was going on and how it was affecting the country.
He needed to focus on what he was doing.
Because, and to me, I knew that there would be, because I was a part of these Facebook groups, I knew there were going to be moms that were going to be like, oh my God, it's so bad out here, la, la, la. And I knew that he was going to hear. No, I never said anything to him. The only thing that I did say to him was something about having to change jobs. And I mentioned it briefly.
Oh, no, you kicked me under the bus every letter. Dad got hurt there, Dad got hurt here.
No. I'm talking about with the virus and stuff. We didn't tell him much of anything that was going on with that.
Right, but you just kicked me under the bus.
twice, and it wasn't
But
under
wait
the
a minute,
bus.
wait a
It
minute,
was
wait a minute.
just
You-
in passing conversation.
Passing conversation. It's in a letter.
Yeah,
How can it
because
be in
one
passing?
was like, by
Passing-
the way,
passing-
Dad crapped himself because
Passing
the chicken
conversation
tracker-
is
Yeah.
seeing somebody in the grocery store talking about, hey, how you doing?
No, like passing a note, passing conversation.
You like passing gas.
So anyway, they basically he didn't get a whole lot of exposure to what was going
He
on.
didn't need to. He
Didn't need to. So
That way he didn't have his femur sticking out of his leg.
yesterday when he called, we started talking about everything that had been going on, and it was funny because Jason and I were going into town today to get some stuff, and we started talking about it. I was like, Blaze goes to boot camp and all heck breaks loose. Like all of a sudden the world's coming to an end. We've got this pandemic and we've got riots everywhere and all kinds of craziness. So
Night, living a rogue life. Thanks for coming by.
So yeah, it was pretty funny. Living a rogue life before you leave,
Already gone.
or maybe already left. But real quick, there's only 33 people in here, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway. We have sent out the email for the 20,000 giveaway.
Is this your announcement?
So if you have not received it, check your spam box. Because we already sent it out this morning.
And TikTok.
And we've had 3 people enter so far. And
2 people did it correctly. 1 did it not.
What?
Yep.
No. I proved that wrong to you.
No.
All 3 did it right.
No.
But anyway, you have until the live stream next you have until the live stream on 4th of July to get your
Entries
submission in. I'm the cog that's running this machine. Yeah, tell yourself that.
And that's why everything's going so badly.
I gotta get myself a t-shirt that says survived Rona riots and rumors. Well, we know the person to get that hooked up for you. Sorry, I just got on and I missed what the email was for. So we have an email list that we send out notifications for live streams and for new videos. We also use that email list whenever we're doing any giveaways. So if you're not on that email list, and we've said this, try to say it just about every live stream. If you'll email us and send us your email address, then we can go from there.
If Mr. Cog that runs the machine
What's up, Copper Kettle?
was really running the machine,
Uh-huh.
we would have about, 60, 70 people in here because he would have
I know, right? All of his...
every swinging devil dog in his platoon right now tuning in. Hey, come check out my parents live on YouTube. They're kind of famous. Not really, but...
Not really.
But you could lie to them.
We're almost to 22,000, which is kind of cool. So...
Huh? You just gonna
Or
skip right over
21,000.
21?
Wait, are we at 20? I thought we were 21 already.
We are at 20,800.
20. We'll be at 21 soon. Just kidding. Hey, I'm shooting for the stars, y'all. So anyway, that's where we're at right now.
I'll just tell you. But anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Get on the email list right there.
Get
There it
on
is.
the email
BigBearFarms
list.
at hotmail.com. So, we talked about everybody's gardens. I don't think I've been added to the mailing list yet. I'll ping y'all again. I don't know that I've ever received anything from you, dear.
Checking it twice now.
Because I even look at spam, like all of our, because sometimes it gets kicked over into our spam when
we
somebody
usually don't
asks.
add people to the email list that doesn't answer Moco Polos.
I have one other in here, but he's shy. I keep telling Robin she's famous, but she blows me off like, nah. No, I'm not. We're not.
So I want to say something. Gabriel Iglesias, aka Fluffy, has a series on Netflix
called Mr. Iglesias.
Called Mr. Iglesias. If you haven't seen that, they're like 6 or 8 episodes per season. They're in their second season. It is absolutely hilarious. And they're only about, 30, 45 minutes long an episode?
Something like that. I don't even think they're that long. I think they might only be like 30 minutes.
Absolutely hilarious. So if you're looking for something to watch on TV right before you go to bed or something, that's definitely one to watch.
I got on the mailing list before the Marco Polo craze.
Yeah, some people just don't answer Marco Polos.
Did you Marco her and she hasn't answered you? Have you got your feelings, or are you all in your feelings?
I'm all up in my feelings.
All up in your feelings. So one thing, I don't know, we've talked about this before. That is so odd because I have the email, but I had to do a search for it. Gmail is crazy. Yeah, so the title of the email, let's see. The subject matter of the email, it says 20K giveaway is finally here. So if you search your email, you'll probably find it. So anyway.
So we put out that we got the strawberry beds done.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I hope you guys like that. I'm really looking forward to this October putting those plugs.
And we're going to talk more about that. We had somebody on our email, on the comment, ask about where you can get those. I don't know if where we're getting them from, how far they ship, but it's fairly local for us.
We sent an email to them to make sure that they can ship throughout
my nose. I've got something in my nose.
Throughout the nation.
I'll get to watch me blow my nose.
Oh boy. Be prepared. Geese are going to hit the window.
That's all you right there.
Did his parents hate him?
Why? What's his last name?
Okay, yeah. A private Cadillac. If you don't put something in my chat box real soon, I'm going to call you every dadgum car I can think of. Got me there, Mr. Ford Ranger. And right now, Blaze is looking at him going, I told you my dad was an a-hole.
I love Anna. She's like, those questions were too specific. God, how are we supposed to narrow it down? Too much good content. I swear I still don't see this ghost Marco Bear. I wonder if you sent it to some other amazing, awesome PA-based homesteader. Nope. We actually know one. She sometimes comes into this
Yes, she
chat.
does.
I don't remember her name.
Yep. Southern Blessed Homestead, how you doing?
I remember her channel name, but I can't remember.
I wear aprons.
Yeah, but I feel like she doesn't like having her name said.
She doesn't. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember.
that's why I'm trying to keep on talking about something else. But you keep on bringing it back.
So, how is everybody faring?
You know what else they're bringing back? VW bugs.
So how is everybody faring as far as canning goes? Because I'm seeing in different parts of the country there being shortages on mason jars. Because I know some people that I follow are having problems with that. We've also seen pressure canners are hard to find apparently right now.
Yeah.
Freezers.
You know what's hard to find? PT Cruisers.
Blaze is over there giggling to himself. Punch bug, can't punch back. No punch backs. But the reason I ask is like one thing that we had to do with some of our peas. It was the first time this year harvesting peas, enough peas to where we could do something with them. Because in the past, when we've planted peas, Ladessa eats them all. He's going to be watching our bee videos. Says he wants to get into beekeeping. Cool. Hello, Cattywampus Acres. I got your text. I just didn't answer because we were...
Catty Swamp.
You're so mean. I buy them up every chance I get. Eli just subbed and the bear didn't dance. What? Maybe there's a lag?
Might be a lag.
There might be a lag.
Might be a lag.
Naturally NC, what's up? What's up, girl? Got a closet full of jars and a bunch of tomatoes in the freezer I need to process.
Well, Blaze, tell Private MJ Cruiser.
MJ Cruiser.
Yeah, the Toyota one.
That would be an FJ.
FJ
and it's not a cruiser, it's just an FJ.
Tell Private FJ while he's sitting back in his Cadillac.
That's why I'm late.
We're
More
going
piglets.
we're going to be building some horizontal hives. Dr.
I can't ever remember his name. I can see him plain as day. Not Victor.
Dr. Das Vidania.
I can't think of
I
his
can't
name.
remember his name. But anyway, he really talked us into building those.
Whoa! Don't pick on Private Pinto. When the bear danced for Colin Carr, that was him.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Cool.
Thank you, Dragon's Talent.
Did you see what your dirt friend asked?
What?
He asked if you've gone full mullet.
No, I haven't gone
There's Carrie Powell. Hello, Carrie Powell. But I still haven't seen an Eli. I have a basement full of jars and waiting for my garden to come on. Yep, that's the way that goes. Thank you, Dragon's Talent. I missed that a second ago.
My parents had an old Ford Pinto.
Yeah?
Yeah. That thing was the biggest pile of junk
Yeah?
ever.
We didn't have one. My parents had an old
And
Buick.
it had the gear shift down on the floor.
Uh-huh.
And so if you got to wrestling around the back, and your mom's trying to just got that thing up to 55 mile an hour because you're going downhill,
Uh-huh.
and you and your cousin are messing up and hit it in neutral. Oh.
Our potatoes. I saw a picture of that, Ethan. I think somebody posted. I think you guys posted a picture, or maybe it was somebody else. But I think it was
Our
y'all.
potatoes are doing really good too. We're going to be. Whoa.
We should be harvesting those here pretty soon too.
Yep.
But I'll of course you'll see that on the garden tour. We our potatoes suck. They got some kind of fungus. That sucks. Yeah, we're faring pretty well with a bunch of our stuff. I drew out our one bed, like the left side, this afternoon.
Blaze, I hate to break it to you, but your long-lasting orange eggmobile,
Oh.
we're going to have to tear it apart and rebuild it.
We have to rebuild.
We put the...
And I'm not sure how we're going to do that, because I think we're literally going to have to take our landscape trailer, and that's what we're going to have to...
No. No to the no to the no, no, no.
So how are you going to build one that's going to support like 60 chickens?
I'm going to use lumber.
How are you going to move it?
Do you realize that those tires that we bought, those casters that we bought,
Uh-huh.
each one supports 300 pounds.
Okay, and? I still don't think it's going to be enough.
3 times 4.
1,200.
Okay. If you're having me build a eggmobile that's over 1,200 pounds, we got some serious problems. That's
Same.
half of the bread barn.
Just saying. I don't know.
And of course, it should go a lot faster. You know why?
Why?
Because I won't be missing any framing nails. Because for some reason, over the last couple of years, especially near the wintertime, the framing nails would just go up missing.
Good night, dear. Have a good night.
And you would find remnants of a squirrel somehow got shot.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Bubba.
Just realized that I was watching the video from like 30 minutes ago. Haha. Here I was following along and replying to what you were saying then. Haha.
Have fun on Firewatch.
Bob's Adventure. Hello.
Don't forget your first
Welcome.
general order.
Wanderlust and Mama Mitzi were in here. Hello, hello.
Love you, Bubba.
They've been super busy harvesting garlic. Holy crud. Like, I looked at, they posted some pictures on
Are you
Instagram.
going to say goodnight to your son?
I did. I said goodnight, dear, before you even did. Goodnight, baby. That's why I'm an expert rifleman.
Yeah, it couldn't be that you got a scope. Put the red dot right here and you'll be fine.
I would totally do that. 180 from average. Yeah. Sometimes that happens. So, but yeah, so, let's see. We had a
Video
Pinto.
from 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, he had like 30-minute, he was from behind, like not watching up to.
He wasn't up to date.
Right.
We haven't been on 30 minutes. Oh, yeah, we have.
Yeah, sometimes, like, if you've been watching and you put it on pause or something gets interrupted, it'll just stop right there. And then when it goes back to it, it doesn't refresh to live. So, been there.
I want to go up to Wanderlust Homestead here pretty soon.
Yes, we need to.
I want to go visit their place. They've always been to ours, and they invited us to come up to theirs, but then we don't ever get the address.
That's not the reason.
I know. I'm just making stuff up trying to be funny.
Okay. So it looks like this next week coming, it's finally going to warm up. This past week was kind of weird.
It's already started to warm up.
We were in like the 60s and 70s most of the week.
That's what I was going to say when we were talking about the radishes.
Uh-huh.
That's going to get a little bit hard to get used to.
What?
I'm very thankful that he's in here, but having him in that chat box instead of
Coming out to bring us tea. Yeah.
right in there,
Yeah.
that's gonna get. I mean, it's fun and it's cool.
Well, what was really neat is we used to have this thing. Like every Friday, we would send each other these 2 different videos that have Friday in the title.
Swinging it right back around to being all about you.
And yesterday it was really cool because yesterday, just out of the blue, because we had talked to him earlier, and then out of the blue, he messaged me and he said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know, when I was riding to NCIS the other day, I heard Freaky Friday on the radio." He said, "And I thought of you," and I thought it was really cool because that's just kind of like our thing. And then there's this like ridiculously horrible song called Friday, and it's by like Rebecca Black or something, and he would love to, on Friday mornings, like super early, he would come out into the living room and turn it on and just blare it in the house. And I used to want to kill him.
Don't miss that.
I used to want to kill him. But now these are the things we laugh
Friday,
about. Yep.
Friday.
God, don't do that. You're going to end up getting us copyrighted or something. So, good Lord, I think someone is having fun or getting killed above me. Yeah, so summer solstice is Monday.
So
Monday.
back to what I was saying before.
Or is it today?
We
We never did find that out.
got sidetracked by my son being in the chat box. The major you can and that's it.
No, it's today. Hot diggity. Sorry.
We should have done this live from the Guidestone News. Yeah, we would have got run off by the Guidestonians. That's a true thing. There is a cult or a group of people that go up there and worship the Guidestones. They do some stupid stuff up there. Never seen it, just heard about it.
I didn't even notice anybody up there this morning.
It was packed up there this morning.
Yeah, I guess I was too busy paying attention to the road.
Yes. So that's the great thing when I get to ride with you.
I could live the rest of my life without hearing that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that song is atrocious, and it gets stuck in your head. It's ridiculous.
So I wonder if Private Camaro is still here.
Probably not. So anyway, summer solstice is here, so that means today's the longest day of the year. So we'll start getting, everything will start to get shorter minute by minute each day. LaDessa was already asking me, when do I get my hour back? That's what she wanted. she woke up like yesterday morning and she was just dragging. And she's like, Mom. Like,
well, see, it's very funny. In our house, when Robin wakes up in the morning, this is Robin before coffee. Robin after coffee is hi.
Robin after coffee is productive in the morning.
Carol is like a zombie from The Walking Dead.
Until she gets done with her chores. When she comes back in from doing her chores, she's like, hi, I want to be a cat.
And LaDessa lays in the bed and goes, I don't want to.
She's so funny. She's like walking into the kitchen, I'm pouring coffee, and if you just smell the coffee, it starts to make your day better. And so I'm like, oh, it smells so good. And LaDessa's like, Mom. I'm like, what, dear? When do we get our hour back? And I was like, what? When do we go back to the way it's supposed to be, where it's dark at 6 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, I don't want the days to get shorter either. But, we
are very productive right now.
Yeah,
I don't want the days to get
so
shorter.
really funny story. Monday I had this. Monday I had this great Instagram post planned and ready to go, and I was so productive. I was gonna be like, "Hey, this is what I've been doing. What do you have planned for this week, or what have you already gotten done?" And then I never got around to sending it because I was just that productive. But Monday morning we canned, we had 5 quart jars ready of green beans.
What was the funny part?
I thought that, I don't know. I'm not funny. Anyway.
Because you said this was funny, and
I thought that was when I was talking about LaDessa. I don't know. Anyway, I'm always funny looking. So,
you're not funny.
So anyway, Monday I already had 5 quarts of green beans,
because I
canned and ready to go,
and dry beans.
And we had dry beans, which I'm gonna take a picture of those. They're really, really cool. If you've never seen Borletto beans, the other one that's really cool, if you've never seen these, you really need to look them up. They're called Jacob's Cattle, I think. Jacob's
and when
Cattle
you pop
beans.
them and open them, they go, mmm.
No, but they look like a spot, like the spots on
A Holstein.
No, the spots, because we have some of those Holstein cow peas growing right now. But the Jacob's Cattle, they look like the spotting on freckles.
Yes.
They've got that brown and white speckle. They're pretty cool on freckles. So anyway, we canned all those, did all that. That was pretty cool. And so we've been really productive first thing in the morning. I get up at 6, do my routine, have my cup of coffee. Usually by 6:30, 6:40, I'm raring to go, ready to do something. And so I may walk out to the garden, decide what I'm going to plant that week, what needs to be harvested, what needs to be put up. And so that's basically what our whole week has been, is every morning getting up, getting something planted.
Well, I mean, we're running wide open right now. We're still planting things. We're harvesting things.
Building things.
Building a lot of things.
Tomorrow is going to be slap full of finishing those tractors because we got to get those chickens out.
Yes, I want those chickens out.
Yeah, we got to get the chickens out.
We're going to build a brooder house.
Hey Jason, are you going to the Homesteading Life Conference again this year? We're hoping so.
Right now, it's a yes. We are in a conversation with somebody trying to get them to come farm sit for us.
If anybody knows anybody else that could come farm sit.
Any of y'all want to come farm sit? It's going to be for a week.
That's the big problem.
Yeah,
Is it's gonna be 5 a
please
week.
hit us up on email, and
So Lonely Prepper said most people don't know that the Georgia Guidestones are the display of the New Age 10 Commandments.
yes,
Yes, and they're in different languages. There's 8 different languages that it's in.
yeah, it's real weird.
So Mama Mitzi said their Verletto beans are doing really well, the ones that we sent them. It's hard for me to...
Are you going, Ethan?
It's hard for me to save those seeds because they're so pretty. I want to keep them to eat. It's hard for me to save those. But we saved quite a few last year.
Well, we've been eating a lot of different in colors now.
So that's the really cool part is like, and I was telling Blaze this because, Blaze has been basically living off of MREs for 4 months. 4 months. Because they were in the field doing MRE crap all the time when they were in boot camp. He was telling me. And then he had boxed lunches. But, yeah, they're gone. So,
he also got chow hall food.
He did, but not always. So anyway, I'm dealing with weeds and more weeds and more weeds and more weeds. So did I say I hate weeds? That's one thing we've been very fortunate going to raised beds.
Well, I mean, if you're dealing with a weed situation, call Snoop Dogg.
Anyway.
Not that kind of weed?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
But what we have been doing, I was talking to Blaze and I told him, I said, man, like we've been harvesting so much stuff that we're able to, every meal is like 3/4 from our front yard. Like we had one day, it was so funny because I think that this family would lose its mind if we had a vegan meal or a vegetarian meal. Because I was going to do ratatouille this past week, and because I have some beautiful...
We've eaten vegan meals.
Beautiful
and
eggplant.
vegetarian meals.
And so I had eggplant, I had squash, I had peppers, I had tomatoes, I had everything. So instead of it being like actual ratatouille, I just basically harvested everything in the garden that I could. And chopped it all up, put it in there, and then Ladessa looks at me and goes, "Where's the meat?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "We're having meat with this, right? Like, what meat are we having?" And I was like, "Yes, dear, I'll put some ground beef in it, and then we'll put it over some spaghetti, and it'll be good." So we basically made some spaghetti. That is a nasty smelling burp, by the way. I want to save most of the Berletto beans this year. Yeah. So
now, is that the seeds that we gave you?
Mm-hmm. That's what she was saying earlier.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We got from you are growing really well. Yeah.
That means we actually know what we're doing when we save seed. Whoop, whoop.
How did you doubt yourself?
I always doubt myself.
A vegetarian or vegan meal would end in my divorce. Chris would have none of that mess. I will tell you, though, that what was really cool about it was, like Jason was saying, it was like we were eating the rainbow. Like, it was really, really cool. Like, we had the red from the tomatoes, because the tomatoes were, like, bright red. We had orange eggplant in there. We had some yellow squash, some green zucchini. We had poblano peppers in there. We had purple eggplant, and we had white and purple eggplant. So we had, like, all these different colors, just, like, it was really neat. And no, I didn't take an Instagram picture. Sorry. But
we ate, for the very first time this morning, a very spiky cucumber.
Oh, yeah. So we grew some China Jade cucumbers. And I was curious because all of the descriptions I've read, and I don't know if y'all have read this too, but it says that you can grow these in a greenhouse where there's no pollinators. And when that happens, it will be a burpless cucumber with little to no seeds. So we're growing all of this stuff outside. And let me explain, well, I'm going to cover that in the garden tour tomorrow. But anyway, we grew this China Jade cucumber. And if you look it up, it's long. This one that I harvested was towards the bottom of the vine, so when it hit the ground, it curled up. So it looked like a big C, which was pretty cool. But it was super, super spiky. Like it had, and they weren't painful, but
It
it
looked
was
like
just,
that one Pokemon that anytime he'd get mad, he'd go, and then
as all those spikes would come out. Yeah. So,
Don't
but
ask how
I will say this: it was a very tasty. Because I was curious, because Jason doesn't like burpless cucumbers.
That's a tasty cucumber.
Yeah, he doesn't like burpless cucumbers. So I was curious if it was still going to be that way with us having them outside. But I have seen on that cattle panels, I've seen bumblebees and honeybees going crazy on those blooms. So
Speaking of honeybees, has anybody ever seen ivy put out a flower? In my vlog this week, I'm going to share with you guys our ivy that's on our trees that is flowering.
yeah.
And there are so many honeybees right now around it that I was
up?
on the horn with Doug from Doug and Stacy, and he's like, "Are you standing near a swarm? Are you trapping a swarm right now?"
Nope.
Because there were so many bees
It was
up in there.
loud. Yeah, I was like, is there a swarm up there? Jason's like, no, it's just, they're just all over those flowers. So,
And Doug never heard of it, and Stacy never heard of it, and I sent them a picture.
Mark said he has, so that's cool. And it could be a southern, I don't know. It
Yeah,
could
well,
be
that's
a
what
southern
Doug said.
variety.
Because then we switched to a video call, and I showed him that, and Doug's like, "No, that's some weird Georgia stuff y'all got going on there."
Some weird Big Bear stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But, so,
Especially, like, I don't know how that ivy's still alive, because it only comes down to, like,
what's up, breakaway?
6 inches to the bottom of the tree, because the guinea hogs ate it all. And there's no, I mean, unless it rooted into
the tree. It's possible.
I don't know.
Very possible.
But I'm supposed to have an extra large police officer come down and help me cut
An extra large police officer.
help me cut down the trees.
I am bummed my dragon's tongue beans lose their purple streaks when cooked. I know.
Yes, that is so
Now
heartbreaking.
hold on, Albany. Brenda, are you still in here? I think Brenda's the one that said that if you blanch them, she said something about blanching them first, and that they'll keep their purple streaks if you blanch them. I'm pretty sure it was Brenda that said that, because I was gonna try that on our next run. Because, well, I might not even do dragon's tongue, and that's another thing I'm gonna talk about in the garden video. So.
Same to you, Patrick, sir. And I need to talk with you this week sometime. Not tomorrow, because tomorrow's Father's Day. I know you probably...
In a couple weeks, bring in more than a chainsaw. Wink, wink. We'll be talking about that later. So, yeah. That's going to be a fun. We're so overdue to see them. Like, it's been a long time since we've seen Lauren and Jason.
Just make sure he brings his Floyd hairdo.
That's a video. That's a really good video. Fix it, Floyd. Oh, God. I can't even.
Fix it, Floyd and fried squash. Gonna make their debut.
It's gonna
It'll be a
bad.
2-parter. One on this channel, one on their channel.
It'll be so funny. So we're kind of behind the 8 ball on a couple of things, but we're fortunate with the growing season that we have, that we're able to, we're still able to plant corn and things like that through like the second week in July.
Look, I know a lot of y'all are tired
Good night, Mimsy.
of the whole lockdown, that which should not be named thing. And
Nice. He's getting a new one tomorrow for Father's Day.
but I absolutely love it. I am so happy for it. The environmental changes that have happened. We had a spring this year. It is the middle of June And we're just really now having to turn on the AC regularly. And nothing bolted. The radishes now just went from being cool to spicy.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Jason,
No.
turn around so you can see the back of your hair. He's got a
Thank you.
ponytail. And it's really long, y'all. It goes down his back. It's pretty cool. UP Gardening Adventure. Hello. It's been a while since we've seen you on.
And so I'm just crazy excited about all the positive environmental changes that have happened because of
The lockdown.
the lockdown. And I mean, we have seen some very positive changes in the environment just here because there's no cruise boats in the ocean. There's
even
there's
in
not a lot of-
our lake,
Yeah.
you know, our lakes they were locked down for a while. Mullet time. It's not a mullet. It's all shaved all around the back. Turn your head. It's all shaved. It's clean back here. It's just up at the top.
Robin is in a Viking stage, hence the hairdo.
Do you eat fried green tomatoes?
Yeah,
Absolutely. I'm excited to be growing 2 varieties. So which varieties are you growing, Albany Mountain?
And so while we're waiting on that answer, and this was the first time that we had an honest to goodness spring
Yeah.
in decades.
Well, and it messed up our rotation.
Yeah.
So the problem is that like our Swiss chard was doing amazing, and it was still doing amazing in May. And normally that would not happen.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't getting bitter like how it does from
and
the
it was
heat.
growing the bed was just completely overgrown
Yeah.
with
Didn't have
Swiss
to weed
chard.
it anymore.
Yeah.
To the fact where we've let it go to seed now, and that should be ready to harvest probably next week.
I don't know. I think it. Anyway.
It's tipping over now, so.
Mhm.
But I mean the availability for the planting. I'm really interested to see what this winter is going to be like because of environmental changes. I might get snow. I'm really hoping for some snow.
We had snow this past year.
That was 5 guys with dandruff.
No, it was more than that.
It didn't even stick around for 24 hours.
But it never sticks around.
Yeah.
We're just past the solar minimum and are creeping into the maximum. The next few years will be nice like this. Yay! I still have cabbage going. See, we didn't do cabbage because we didn't realize this was going to happen. We thought we were behind the 8. Because really, I don't know if y'all remember this,
Leave
but
it up
back
to
in
Mr. Scientist to come in
But
here.
back in October, I was downright pissy because I had planted and started. I had a really good start on stuff for the fall garden. I had cabbages going, Brussels sprouts, I had everything. And then it was so dang hot that I couldn't, we couldn't plant
Good night,
anything.
Brenda.
Good
God
night,
bless.
Brenda. Albany says one called Fried Green, from the nursery, and the other is Aunt Ruby's German Green from M.I. Gardner. We are growing Wagner Blue, which the outside of the tomato is blue, but the inside is a green.
Mm-hmm.
So we're growing Wagner Blues. We're also growing, of course, what?
Green zebras.
Green zebras. And then I think I also have the German, Aunt Ruby's German green. There's a couple. But I mostly focused, this first round, I focused mostly on cherry tomatoes because most of the tomatoes I have in right now are all paste. They're all paste tomatoes. I think there's 1 or 2 plants that are slicers because I wanted to have those for Jason to have his tomato sandwiches.
Yes.
So we have a couple of black creme plants going in one bed.
Don't you got the cosmic one out there too?
Not yet. I think I have it planted. I don't think it's grown up enough to where it's producing anything yet. Hello, April. What's up?
Loved your email, April.
The solar cycle is 9 to 11 years, so you probably had the same season 9 to 10 years ago.
Well, I mean, we
That's
did.
so far back, I don't remember
Well,
that.
10 years ago, we were still in Grovetown. That might have been the year that we had that really successful garden there, too.
When did we start our YouTube channel?
About 10 years ago.
2011?
About 10 years ago.
Wasn't quite 11. It was like
Oh.
2011. So well, yeah, because we would have been back in when we
double wide.
first. Ten years ago would have been 2010.
Because we had that.
Carol would have been.
We had that bumper crop
3.
of potatoes that we ended up leaving all those seed potatoes buried, wrapped in newspaper underneath
Yes,
that double wide.
that's true.
We had the bumper crop of cucumbers, squash out the wazoo, zucchini at the wazoo.
Yeah. Though they're talking about this being a grand solar minimum, so it may last for a while. I would be okay with that, to be
Yeah.
completely honest with y'all. Let's see, I'm doing a Belgium giant for sauce and salsa and a purple tomatillo just because. Yeah, I feel you on the just because that's essentially what my front garden is all about. Just because. Tell me that an eggplant can only be purple. Hold my beer.
You don't drink beer.
I know. Hold
But
my
yeah,
wine.
I'm very excited about the way that the weather has changed. I'm very excited to see what this winter is going to look like. Hopefully it'll get cold. We'll get some ice, because then I'm going to go all out trapping.
I hope it doesn't, because that's going to be a pain to grow in. I'm going to have to get rebar up. Get those, like we talked about, those, or not rebar, but like the conduit holder, and probably some rebar just so that I can cover everything.
No, if you're going to put the conduit up, you're going to put we'll just run conduit all the way over and make it like a covered wagon.
Okay. So,
You just won't be able to cover the trellis ones. You need to get
the
that
only
in there.
trellis thing that I want to grow is peas. I mean, we hit peas out of the park this year.
Yeah.
We ended up
Off Kilter Homestead, this winter is going to be
brutal.
I hope so.
In Georgia?
Hope so. I hope so. I love hunting in the cold, in the snow, and I definitely love
Trapping in the snow.
in the snow, in the cold.
Yeah.
That fur and those guard hairs get thick, and you get good fur to be able to make blankets and coats.
Hello, Broussard.
Because if I harvest a deer this year too, I'm tanning the hides of the deers that we harvest, so that way you can maybe make some coats or pants or.
I don't know, April. I think it's going to be the opposite, honestly. I'm looking for it to be gone. I don't think so. I feel the solar minimum started a long time ago. 2013 was a brutal winter in Michigan, colder than most of Alaska, and 96 inches of snow. That's a lot of snow. But yeah, we've been very fortunate that we've been able to, because of the spring being as long as it was, we were able to harvest a much longer time. But that also, in my opinion, made it harder, because like right now we should be able to put, well, I say right now, within the last month, in the beginning of June, the end of May, I should have been able to put tomato seeds in the ground, and within a week they should have been breaking ground. And because the weather has not been super hot, tomatoes are taking twice as long, and so are peppers. Peppers the same way.
Well, they both love heat.
So it's to the point now where I've literally got, like, once we get done with this, I've got seed starters in there that I'm fixing to put tomatoes and peppers in and put them in my chick starter room, because it's like 90 degrees in there. So they'll start in like 3 or 4 days, and then everything will be good. I'll take them outside. GSM expected to last 11 years average and a maximum of 14 years. Me too, but I can always hope. It's ripping through work right now. I even had a distributor come through, said that at his work, somebody tested positive, and so they had to have the whole group of them had to be tested, even if they weren't in the same building. Like, as long as they were in the same facility, they had to be tested. And so he was tested and he was negative, but yeah, so we've seen it come through, people we know, and it does seem like it takes a lot longer for the body to recuperate.
I don't know, Brett. I think I might have gained weight this week. This week was a very hard week for me. I even emotionally ate some this week, but I'm going to be talking about that in the video.
Breakaway, you mean southeast, right? I hope. Our garden is going so slow only because we started like 2 months later than we should have. Yeah. That's part of, like, I thought that we were doing really well, and I'm like, oh, we have all this stuff we're harvesting. But then when I planned out and looked at my overall beds, I was like, do you realize I don't even have half of my beds planted?
Yeah.
And Jason's like, yeah, I've been begging you to get them planted. And I'm like, yeah, you got to get on that.
Well, we don't even really have the big garden planted.
Having trouble getting my cucumbers to even germinate, much less produce because of the weather. Seriously thinking about putting the heat lamp on some starts in the house. Well, see, that's what I'm talking about doing in our chick room. I do have grow lights, but even more, we have a heater in there for the chicks. So it's a constant temperature of like 90 degrees in there. So we noticed this past winter when we were doing seed starts, things were taking half the time to germinate that they normally do. So I had to keep that in mind with everything we were doing. So Pat says, Robin, just treat your spring as if you were one weather zone further north. So delay 2 weeks. Okay. I haven't been on a scale. I can't remember when. Not even sure. I want to see. I don't know. It's tough. This week has been kind of hard to do that. I'm going to write that down somewhere. Not right there, though. Where do I need to write that?
But it's definitely that time of the year, and we're in full force running around. It seems like we're always chasing the 8 ball. It's like Mama Donna asked me to call her the other day, and I said, look, we're running wide open. It may be a couple days, and I think that was like Wednesday or Thursday, and I still haven't had the time to call her. In fact, right after this live, we got to go out there and lock everything up, make sure everything is locked up for the night, and then tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., we're running right back at it again. We may have to adjust and start getting up at 5 a.m. to be able to combat the heat that's coming, to be able to stay productive and get a lot of this stuff done.
Lost Dude says he's had 100 degrees plus all week and next week. Please come get and take it with you.
Nope.
Nope, you can have it.
You can have it. You can keep it.
Breakaway says his squash are 20 feet wide, and he's going to send you a book. Broussard says, I think the only thing I lost this week was my focus. I don't know, it's tough too, Brett, because you guys have had some company, so it's a little bit harder when you've got company to kind of stay focused on that. When you're focused more on, your company and being a good host, sometimes it's hard to do that, so trust me, we know. So, y'all look tired too. We've been
humping.
Yeah, it's been a rough, and I had a really rough week at work because the lady that's above me, she was able to take her first vacation since she started working there because she felt that I could run things while she was gone, which I could. I was very capable of doing so. But because it was just one of me instead of 2 of us, it was definitely, stressful's not really the right word. It was just very busy. I was nonstop from 20 minutes before I actually got in there, because my phone would start ringing on the way into work. And then I would be all the way until 5:15 every day. So when Friday 5 o'clock hit, I had to like kind of chill for a
Has
little bit.
anybody else seen a lot more activity with bats in their local area? We have gone from having half a dozen fly around our homestead to double that. I'm just wondering if it's just maybe in our area we're finally starting to have a population boom,
Could be.
or if it's just everywhere.
So April said the only thing looking okay is my Boston cutes, my Brandywine and Homestead tomato plants, and my onions are coming along. Windswept. I can understand this. She says, I'm having a hard time finding a happy middle ground going from gardening in zone 3 to zone 6. So that's kind of hard having to do that. Albany, it's funny. We have a lot of people that ask us or say to us, I don't know how you can live in Georgia. It's too hot, blah,
Good night,
blah, blah.
Wanderlust.
How do you do it? It's too hot to be doing all that stuff. Well, the trick is scheduling. You have to make sure that you're getting up early, as soon as the sun is up, and you do stuff until about 10, 11 o'clock. Then you focus on the stuff that you can do inside, or at least inside shelter. So like even we can even work in the wood shop. We just have to have a fan going and we have to drink water. But as long as we're not in the direct sunlight, it's not really that bad.
I don't know. Wood shop gets cooking in there. When it's hot outside, it gets the cooking in there. And
About what time though? Like 2, 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying like you could probably still stretch it out till about lunchtime.
Yeah.
But then once like 2, 3 o'clock hits, it gets super, super hot.
Yeah.
So, and then what we do is they do stuff inside while I'm at work. And then when I get home from work, we usually we'll start doing some talking and planning. And then we end up eating dinner kind of late, like 7. And that
really
might
been
be
hurting
what's
my-
messing with your...
Because we don't start to get to cooking till about 7, and now I'm not eating till 8:39.
Yeah, so then you're...
And it's
Yeah.
really night, Mama Mimsy. Lost Dude, to answer your question, no, I have not built one yet, but they're coming. That is on the to-do list for 2020. I've been talking about doing it for 3 years now, and
now he's got the tools to where he can really, like, knock one out pretty efficiently.
Yeah.
Before it was going to be super rough. Now he's got a planer. He's got a...
Well, I also have a little bit more time
Well, yeah, that
now because we're not, Blaze was going through a rough spat where he was just not putting his best foot forward.
Excuse me.
And so we had to spend a lot of time redoing stuff that he'd done, and that just ate up the time. It's like, since he's been gone, it's like once we got into our rhythm, we kind of really catapulted by leaps and bounds with on our goals list and stuff that we wanted to get in play here, because we weren't redoing the same thing 3 and 4 times.
Well, and like even more so with the girls, when we have an animal get out, they identify the problem and they fix it the first time, and they fix it right instead of fixing it halfway.
Yeah.
And I have to brag on the girls and kind of throw Jason under the bus. The other day, I was cracking up. They spent all day chasing these pigs. The fencing that we have for them is a little bit older, and so we thought it could be the fence. But Carol and Ladessa both kept telling me, Mom, it's the charger. It's the charger. It's the charger. And apparently, Jason said, it's not the charger. It's not the charger. Find where they're getting out, blah, 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 blah. So finally, they'd had enough because I screwed up. I was up at the back of the house, and the dog got out. And he got out and ran towards the pigs, and the pigs went right through tore up some of the fence. Luckily, it wasn't tore up enough where they couldn't, just put it back together. But I go back inside with the dog, and about 5 or 10 minutes later, both girls come in, and their chests all poked out, and their little heads bobbing. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Daddy was wrong. I was like, what do you mean Daddy was wrong? It was the charger. And Carol's hilarious because she's like, I know teenagers don't know anything, but if he'd have listened to me first thing this morning, we wouldn't have had to chase pigs all day. I was dying. And in Jason's defense,
good night, Ivy.
The chargers have not given us any issue. And I really don't know that it was the charger not being a good charger.
No, that charger sucks.
Oh, it does? Which one is that?
That's the Premier 1 charger.
Oh.
It is not even a good paperweight.
Anyway. And that one's really not that old either. But, so anyway.
I'm going to be doing an updated video on that pig system, that pig netting system that we got. I am, a year later, 2 years later, I am not happy. Not at all.
So anyway, so we put the Gallagher charger on it, and much better.
Yeah, you heard them squalling every time they touched it.
Yeah. And it's really funny because you can look out our bathroom window right to where they're at. And first thing in the morning, I'll get out of the bathroom and I'll look out the window, and they'll be standing there waiting. But they won't touch the fence because they know it's hot. And I'll be like, Carol, get up, go feed those pigs before they test the fence. You need to get up and get them fed.
And just
okay.
like with the smart fence with the Gallagher system, the Gallagher chargers are off the chain. They are solid and they are powerful. And we're going to be having some videos come out here real soon because I think I'm about to get the okay that we can put the videos out. But the cows, they only had to touch that fence one time.
And it's even more of a testament to it because the calves they're playful right now. And they're going to test boundaries because they don't know any better. So those calves, especially Bo loves to test the fence. And that charger will zap him good. It hits his nose and he goes to bucking. And so we know that it's sending some pretty good power. But they have a really cool tool that we need to get so that we can feature that too, which I think will be really helpful. I say the same thing to my husband. So how many times do I have to be right before he listens? Yeah. What do I know, right? Well, and like I said, the in Jason's defense, typically it's not the charger. Typically it's the fence because with pigs, they root up and push dirt everywhere and it grounds out the fence. Yeah. So it's not typically the charger.
And it really, with that charger, I'd be very interested to see. One of the problems with that charger is how the solar panel on it is set up.
Well, that's what I was going to say too, is that we were curious as to if it was just not getting enough sunlight to charge it up completely. So I have stuck it out in the sun for the last 2 days to make sure it gets a full charge. And we're going to test it Monday to see if it's got any charge to it. Yeah. And see what happens. Yeah, maybe it's just dead finally, but
it's just a bad design and anyway, but well, we've been on for almost an hour and a half.
We know you're right. We just don't want your ego to get much larger. Just playing. He's not always wrong. So we've been on here almost an hour and a half. Guess we will go ahead and call it a night. We've still got, it's just getting to dusk now.
We still got a little bit of daylight left.
But, I mean, the way that it is with us, we could just turn on that's the other really cool thing about having a bunch of your gardening stuff in the front yard. I can turn on our porch light and pretty much
Well, I
see.
got you a whole bunch of solar lights too. That
Yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna put those out.
Put those out tomorrow.
Tomorrow, so that we can see those. And that's what's really cool. Like from our bedroom, the windows look out into the garden. So if we leave that open, we can see the lights. It's pretty cool. So.
How long do the chargers last? Well, I mean, we'll cover all of that. So we'll cover all that in the videos, and it'll probably be a little bit from now when we do it because the Gallagher chargers, they're just so much better built, and so we got them a couple of months ago, 3, 4, 5 months ago with some of them, and they're doing great, and so we'll see
How they do, yeah, longevity wise.
But I can almost sit here and put my reputation on. I bet they last longer than that Premier one did.
Well, even that Penmac or Parmac or whatever it is, that one's been a beast as well.
Yeah.
That one's lasted a long time. So I'm off to milk goats and check on the piglets. I can't wait till I can say that.
Don't even start.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your weekend. To all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day.
Y'all give all your dads a big pound.
Yep.
You know, don't buy him a tie. And
Oh crap! No tie.
no tie. No tie.
I gotta go take your gift back.
Of course you do. Does it look like I got a whole bunch of gray hair?
Because you do.
Wow.
Happy Father's Day, Jason, and to all the other dads out there. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
All right.
All right, guys. So be on the lookout. Of course, what are we at? Week 5.
Yes, it's a solar charger.
Week 5 for the weight loss challenge.
That'll be out tomorrow.
That's coming out tomorrow. I also want to give a huge shout out to the members of the Big Bear Broussard Homestead Weight Loss Challenge group on Facebook. You guys are awesome. There's been a lot of support, a lot of different recipes and stuff shared there. If you're struggling with weight and you finally want to take the plunge and try to lose the weight, come on over to Facebook. And you can just search Facebook groups. It will come up. Answer all the questions. Just like if you guys are trying to join the Big Bear Nation on Facebook, there are 3 questions. 3 questions. You have to scroll down, answer the last question. Because if not answering all the questions, we're not letting you guys come in. There's been a lot of activity with trolls and stuff trying to request and stuff coming in on Facebook and acting a fool in groups. And so that's the main reason for those questions. So that way things can be shared and you don't have to worry about a whole bunch of drama. We like to be drama free.
That is correct.
Yep. So don't forget to answer all 3 questions. Be on the lookout for Monday. Robin's garden tour video is going to come out. Now, is that going to be an every Monday thing now?
I think so.
Every Monday okay. So, every Monday, Robin's going to start doing a garden tour. Yeah. And so there's that. That means she's going to film it like Saturday or Sunday.
Yes. Yes.
So, and then of course our live stream, and then our videos on Wednesdays and Fridays. Which this Friday was supposed to be a garden tour, but somebody dropped the ball. Not gonna mention any names.
Robin.
But somebody will have video that.
You're not very nice.
I'm very funny.
You're not very nice.
I rule the roost.
Oh my gosh. You're horrible.
Yeah. I just take my jokes 1 inch at a time.
Okay, enough of the jokes. Let's call it a night so we can go to bed and get up early tomorrow.
Measure this out. Alright, guys.
Ooh, that sounds good. Cabbage rolls with barbecue sauce instead of tomato sauce. I bet. That would be really good. Okay, y'all.
Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out with us.
Excuse me.
If you're on the email list, get the cracking on that 20K giveaway because 4th of July weekend.
Be here before you know it.
It's only a couple weeks away.
Yep. We'll do it on the live stream.
On the live stream.
All right, y'all.
Make sure you follow the rules.
Waiting on you.
Oh, okay. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. And Robin and I always want to remind you to plant smiles
Grow giggles.
and harvest the love, baby, yeah.
You kill me when you do that.
Recycle, reuse, repurpose, keep stuff out of the landfill. Give this planet a shot. Give it a thing. Give it a go. And be kind to one another. Don't be coming into people's lives and talking about hobbits and all kinds of stuff.
Love you, Tim.
Because you lost a whole bunch of weight and now your head doesn't look like it matches with your rest of your body.
Leave Tim alone.
So, y'all have a great, wonderful weekend, and we will see you back here.
Next week.
Same bear channel, same bear time.
Good night, y'all.